after discussing ontology, now it's time to discuss epistemology. And again, we are talking about an elephant. And this elephant is about the question, what is knowledge and how do we actually gain knowledge? So if there's a reality out there, as we would discuss in ontology, we now pose the second question, and the second question is, how can we understand reality? Or can we understand reality, or do we need to measure reality? And usually in textbooks, there's a distinction made between either a positive view or a more interpretivist view. And this is one way of putting it. The core of it, at least, is that we can apply natural science methods to social sciences. And it starts with a pretty empiricist point of view, which means all the knowledge we gain it through the senses. So everything should be observable and measurable. A second element of positivism is that it's usually deductivist, which means that we are testing theories, and I will explain a bit about that later. But some would say that positivism also means inductivist, so it's focused on theory building. And there are different strands of positivism. Logical positivism was mainly focusing on theory building inductively, whereas hypothetico-deductivist, neo-positivist are focusing much more on deductivism. A fourth element of positivism is the focus on objectivity, or at least a value-free researcher. As a researcher, you do not try to pose your subjective view of the world. No, you try to establish an objective view of the world. And then lastly, but related, is that there is a huge distinction between scientific and normative statements. So as scientists, we try to do scientific statements rather than normative statements. Positivism in qualitative research is quite often used not only as a label to apply to these elements of positivism, but it's very often used as some terrible nickname. Actually, you can curse someone saying, "Oh, that's quite positivist," and people wouldn't like that. No one calls him or herself a positivist in qualitative research. So it has quite a negative connotation. Now, the other view on epistemology is interpretivist epistemology. And when people discuss this interpretivist epistemology, usually people would quote Schutz saying something about people are not atoms, nor are people billiard balls. So when I hit you, you wouldn't react like a billiard ball. No, you would use your meaning. And this is what Schutz says. Social reality has a specific meaning and relevance structure for the beings living, acting, and thinking within it. So if I push you, you will act different from other